All right, so last thing to do this morning, not an everyday ritual, is to get your bear bag stuck out of the notch of a tree. Don't long. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, come on, more bit. And my feet feel better today. Don't have tape on my feet anymore, so I don't need any special rest on my feet. I think my ankles are doing good. This is day 6. I think it's a Thursday. So anyway, just left camp. Down by the spring. Very nice camp. Can't complain if you're camping within 10 feet of water. This morning was the world's longest camp teardown, so it took 2 hours. That little tree thing took a little bit, but I did an inventory on my food. Made a list of exactly what I need to buy, but somehow it took 2 hours. I got a few things at the grocery store, then I got a few things at the sort of an outdoorsy store, my two Mountain House meals. Then I went to Walgreens, get a couple of drink mixes. Then I went to the barbecue place, and somebody was nice enough and they bought me a sandwich. They had some relatives that were hiking, and this lady, as soon as I walked in, she told the waitress that she was going to buy me lunch. That was before I even ordered. So just got a sandwich and a beer and water. It was good. Recharged a little bit. Then I went down to the coffee shop down the street and got more recharging, coffee and a scone. Anyway, then I head back out of town, up over the mountain, back down the mountain, back on the trail. Should go to the other side of Pearisburg right now, and across a bridge and back on the trail again over there on the other side. But it takes a while to get through Pearisburg. This is Hale's Landing. Not sure what river this is. Most of the trail is a green tunnel. Every now and then you get something worth filming. So it's kind of nice. Should be a nice view of the valley and mountains as I get up to the top. Had a stream crossing a while back, so I haven't had a good bath. I sponge bath once a while back, and anyway, it was a nice stream. So I washed socks and a shirt, this shirt here, with some soap this time, and then I did a good rinse of me afterwards. So I feel a whole lot better. Last night was tough. It was warm and I was sticking to everything. So, well, there's a shelter coming up. We'll see if anybody's here or if I keep going. I'll stay at the shelter tonight. They've got a bear box and a really good view. So I stopped about 1.5 miles short of the campsite I want to stay at. It's probably a pretty clean shelter, so have a few wasps, but other than that, it should be okay. Day 7, leaving Ricefield Shelter, mile 644 on the AT. Stayed there with another hiker, another northbounder. She's sort of flip-flopping, but she's still northbounder. And anyway, it was very foggy. this morning, so I can't see much of anything. Last night I had a good sunset. Didn't sleep too good last night though. Should be water about 1.5 miles ahead, and I'm getting wet feet. But it's nice. Should be a nice ridge walk for 10 miles today before you drop down and get more water. It's less foggy than it was before. A bunch of crab apples. I guess they're crab apples on the ground that have already fallen off the tree. Yeah, there's some. A whole bunch. More than you need. Just crossed over Big Stony Creek. I'm not sure what road it was, but it had this section of trail that, like, it went down to the road with a trash can. Then it did all these pointless up and downs or pud climbs. Went around this little town, a few houses, and then dropped down to the same road. While I was coming to the end of that section of trail, just before I popped on the road, some dude's shooting a shotgun down here. And no big deal. As I got close, I said, "Hey, hiker coming through." And maybe he didn't hear that, but a couple seconds later he shot again. It's like just across the road from the creek in the woods from where I was. So I don't know what he was shooting at, just for no reason. But oddly enough, right at that moment, there was a deer next to me. I don't think he was shooting at that deer. He couldn't have seen it because it was up in the woods where I was. But anyway, on that section of trail that went behind those houses, there was a side creek that came into the main creek that looked safe enough for a bath. Sat in that. It was freezing cold, but that was pretty refreshing. Well, this is day 8, breaking down this campsite. Had to improvise and just get a real wild campsite last night. Because of the campsite I was supposed to go to was had blowdowns in it, and it was the spaces that were available had dead trees above them. So wasted a little time trying to tie my rope to a dead tree and tried to pull it down. It didn't want to come down, so came down trail a little further until I found a flat spot in the forest. Just camped there. But anyway, this is day 8. I think I did 22 yesterday, and so went pretty well. My feet were sore at the end of the day, but 20 is probably a good target. Did some math this morning. I only have to do average 13 miles a day to get to Harper's Ferry. 27 days I've got left, so that should be more than enough. So I should be able to either finish early, go home early, or do extra miles and go past Harper's Ferry. I'll see how I feel when I get there. Hey, there's different stuff to see. Nice little field. I just passed through a field, then a gate, and then I was coming up on this tree, and the tree was playing some music. So it's like, wow, what is it coming from? It's like over the hill, and came around the tree, and there was a guy sitting on the ground there playing. Just had a good spot, viewing of the valley. Still got about 4 hours left to hike. Should be some more fields like this, I hope. This is sure nice. Civilization. Small 1-lane bridge. 1.5 lane maybe. Over unnamed creek. Just hopping in and out of this farmland. Hopefully there's more of that. Woods are good for shade. Farmland's good for scenery, but you get in the sun, it gets warm pretty quick. Yep, another pasture. Just past the Kieffer oak, which is the oldest oak tree on the AT. Got a few pictures I'll post in the video. All right, this is day 9. I didn't stay in the Niday shelter. I stayed in one of the campsites next to it. There's a nice stream. Gotta refill that this morning right next to it. Little creek flowing well. So there was a warm spring going into it that thought the creek was too big. I don't like to use big creeks for refill, but little creeks are good because they just have less time to get farm runoff or whatever into them. But the little warm spring, first put my hand in it, I was like, what the heck? But I think that the website or Far Out app, somebody said it was a deep well spring, which I guess means it's picking up some thermal energy. But anyway, I just used the cold spring, thinking maybe the warm spring might have some bacteria in it or something. If it's warm, you never know. But stick with what's been working. So this is the last part of what's called the dragon's backbone. It leads up to the dragon's tooth. I've been doing this climb for like 400 feet, going over these spines, and this is the smallest one. You're making you weave through these things, and so either way, it's a gradual climb up, and we'll see the peak in a second. You can't even tell that's steep, but this, you gotta slide and walk down the side of that rock, and it's a little sketchy, and it's kind of dusty because a lot of tourists come up here. Well, good morning. I think this is day 10. Starting off this morning, I had stayed at the Four Pines shelter last night, or Four Pines hostel rather, and finally got a bath. Made eggs and bacon this morning, which was good, and just had an orange juice at the grocery store. The guy that was driving across the country dropped me off at the store and waited for me and brought me back to the trailhead. Also saw Dr Saracha. She was slack packing today. She had shuttled ahead, stayed at the hostel. She was probably a day behind me, but she shuttled ahead and stayed there. She's sectioning that, or slack packing that section of trail I did yesterday, I guess. I'm going towards McAfee Knob this morning, and temperatures are really nice today. I think we're starting to get some winter coming in, so it's supposed to be like high of 68 today, and maybe 57 tonight, 47's low tomorrow. So maybe we'll start seeing some fall colors coming up on the trees soon. I've seen some trees that are yellow, and there's a lot of yellow leaves on the ground, but there's still a lot of green on the trees, so we should be seeing some transition pretty soon. Seeing a bunch of hikers today. It's a Monday, but of course I saw two northbounders that caught up with me at the road when the Madonna. I forgot my pocket knife at the hostel, and I was looking for my headphones and my fanny pack, and then I looked in there and said, oh my gosh, my knife is gone. It was in the pockets of the loaner clothes. So I called her, I had a signal, and she brought it to the next road crossing. And then two NOBO hikers caught up with me, and they're still behind me. But then I found saw a bunch of Sobos coming the other way, either day hikers but it is Monday, so anyway. But it's near McAfee Knob, so there'll be a lot of short section hikers and day hikers, long weekenders that come through here. So should be seeing more people like that, I guess, because of this region near the Lamberts Parkway and the Shenandoah should have more people like that around. It's been pretty sparse on people. I think the other day I saw one person all day long, which is okay. It wasn't like last May when there was just sort of people everywhere. Then you'd see the same people off and on over several periods over a couple weeks. You'd see them in and out. It's a different hiking season in the fall. This is Tinker Cliffs. I don't think I've had a view this wide yet on the trail. There's something else.